Hey, what's going on? Thanks for checking out RC Driver, your spot to learn about RC, see cool RC car reviews, how-tos, projects, and a whole lot more. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything we've got coming out in the future. We'll keep you up to date in RC. All right, guys, now today's subject is ready to runs. We've had a lot of ready to runs come in here at the shop, and you know what? Ready to runs need some tweaks at some point, so we've come up with 10 things that most ready to runs need. All right, you ready? Let's get into it. Item number one that most ready to runs need are a new battery and charger. Some don't even come with it, but the ones that do, well, they're just kind of batteries and chargers to get you going. They're wall chargers, and the batteries don't have a big capacity or they don't have a lot of power. So you really want to go and upgrade. So like this truck right here came with these little batteries, which, get you going. It's great. This wall charger with a USB plug on it, well, you know what? They gotta go. You gotta go and find a better battery and charger, which is gonna give you a lot better performance, more run time, and it's gonna make you a lot happier when you're driving your RC machine. So when you go and look for a battery and charger, make sure it's gonna be something that's gonna be compatible with what you're gonna do in the future. So, don't go and just look for a nickel metal battery charger. Make sure you find a multi-chemistry charger such as this one right here. It'll do LiPo batteries. So we got a LiPo pack right here. And this is just gonna allow you to grow into the hobby. Now, the one thing you do need to keep an eye out on is make sure the battery you get is compatible with your system. Some speed controllers only allow nickel metal hydride batteries, so you gotta make sure it's LiPo compatible. Then you have to see what number of cells your speed controller is compatible to. Is it a 2S speed controller, a 3S speed controller? So these are little things you need to check out, but I assure you that once you upgrade your battery in any ready to run, it's going to be a lot better experience. The next option part you should think about getting is a new steering servo. The servo that came with your car probably has plastic gears and the torque is, well, just okay. But with a new aftermarket servo, you don't have to worry about breaking anything, and the torque specifications are probably going to be a lot better. You should probably check out brands like Spectrum, Tekin, even MKS. They all offer some great servos, high tech as well. Check out what they offer and make sure it's going to fit in your car, make sure it's powered correctly. And of course, when you go in and put in an aftermarket servo, you should probably add a aluminum servo arm as well. It will really help out in the steering department. Number 3 on our suggestion list, and you know what, I'm really not going in any order. I'm just kind of pulling these out of the air, but there is going to be 10, is the radio system. Now, again, a lot of RC cars that come with radios, well, they're basic radio systems. There are a few out there that have pretty good radio systems, but most of them have very inexpensive radio systems with just a few trims on it. And you know what? You might start outgrowing that as you get more involved in RC and maybe expand on your collection. So what is out there are computer radio systems such as these. This radio system right here is kind of a mid-level. This is more of an upper level. And then they have an even better computer radio system from the Spectrum line. But definitely check out all of your options. These radios will have a lot more functionality to them. You'll have better steering endpoints, better throttle endpoints. You could do lap times with them, all sorts of stuff, even 4-wheel steer functions with mixing. I know I'm getting a little crazy here, but there's a lot of stuff involved in these. Again, if you're gonna have a lot of RC cars, you'll wanna get something with a multiple model memory so you can control all of your cars with one radio system and make life a lot easier. Next, let's talk tires. Now, the tires that come with vehicles, some of them actually do pretty well, but there's always room for improvement, and there are a bunch of tire manufacturers out there that have a lot of great offerings. Now, here at RC Driver, we like using Proline a lot, and we have some Proline tires here for some of the different vehicles that are out there. Proline has a lot for crawlers, stadium trucks, buggies, truggies, everything you can think of. And of course, you guys could go select whatever you want to. Just when you're looking for tires, make sure you find what's right for your vehicle, for your intended use. So if you're going racing, you're probably not going to want a gnarly lug like this, and vice versa. If you're just going out to bash, you don't want a micro pin tire because it's going to burn right off. Make sure you watch for compounds, because soft compounds will give you more traction, but they'll wear quicker, and hard compounds will take a lot longer to wear, but may not have the best traction for where you're running. So there's some things to check out. Definitely look at the manufacturer's website, and you're probably going to need some rims too, so you might want to add that to the list, unless you want to find another video here on YouTube on how to remove tires. Definitely find the right rims to go with the specific tire. Now shocks are another item that are typically replaced on ready-to-run vehicles because a lot of ready-to-runs come with just plastic shocks. And some of them work really well, and some of them may have some issues later on down the road, such as wear, or even the caps rip off the top sometimes. But definitely work on your shocks to get a little bit better handling out of them. And you can do that by simply just adding an aftermarket oil, such as this from Team Associated. They offer it in different weights. And the oil that comes in cars, a lot of it is just generic oil, and a better oil will actually make the car feel a little bit better. But if you feel that your shocks have a problem to them, maybe they've broken, you might want to check out different aftermarket shocks. These here from Proline, these work really well. We use these on a lot of our project vehicles. These are power stroke shocks, but definitely check out all the different options for your vehicle. There are some from the manufacturer, there's some from aftermarket, and they should improve the handling of your vehicle. Gears, more specifically, pinion gears. Check all these out. I have a lot of pinion gears on hand just to make my RC cars faster, get the gearing dialed in for whatever track I'm running at, or for bashing. Gears obviously make a huge difference in speed and the ability to go where you need it to go, so having some extra pinion gears on hand is a great idea. Now what you should probably do is see what gearing is on your particular vehicle, and then hit up your local hobby shop or your favorite online shop and find some pinion gears with a couple teeth above, couple teeth below, and try them on your vehicle. Now, it's very important that when you do go and get gears that you get the same pitch that you have already on the car. Otherwise, it's going to cause some gear mesh problems. You also want to check shaft diameter. And then finally, when you do go and put on that gear, let's say you're going for speed and you put on a larger gear, you definitely want to monitor the temperature of your electronics. Going with a larger gear could cause more strain on the electronics and cause them to heat up, and you don't want your electronics to fail because you were trying to get a couple more miles an hour out of your RC car. Suspension parts. Are you rough on your machine or maybe need some more tuning? You definitely want to check out what options are available for your suspension on your particular vehicle. There's a lot of companies out there that make aluminum suspension arms if you're looking to bash your vehicle a bit harder, or if you're looking for more tuning, maybe your vehicle doesn't have adjustable tie rods. So you want to check out the company's option offerings, see if they have adjustable tie rods and you can tune your suspension more. But there's a lot of options out there for suspension, and it's a popular option for upgrading ready-to-run vehicles. For number 8, we've got drive shafts. A lot of vehicles come with plastic drive shafts. It's just less expensive. Aftermarket drive shafts are steel, and so it costs a lot more. So on ready-to-runs, of course, they make the vehicle a lot more affordable, and plastic drive shafts are put in place. So once you start adding power to your machine, you're probably going to want to upgrade the drive shafts. There's a bunch of companies out there, MIP, Proline, and even from your vehicle's manufacturer. But check out the drive shaft offerings, especially if you're upgrading power, even if it's just the battery. If you're bashing hard, the stock drive shafts, they can break. Our next suggestion is bodies. Now, it's not necessarily a part you need on your vehicle, but it is a part that could definitely, revive the look of your vehicle. Now, there are a lot of body manufacturers out there, and even some of the manufacturers have aftermarket bodies for their vehicles. So check out what your options are. Some of the options are a little bit stronger. Some of the options just make things look cooler. So for example, this deadbolt over here, I could go and with a little bit of work put on this Jeep Wrangler body and give it a whole new look, and it'll add a lot more excitement to my RC machine. And our last suggestion for new option parts for your ready to run is electronics, more specifically the motor and speed controller. Now, often these are replaced together once you're upgrading from a ready to run system, but definitely check out your options. Sometimes you could go with just a motor, sometimes a better speed controller will just do with your particular vehicle, but this will add a lot more power to your machine and it will be a lot more fun. Now, I know some of you Nitro guys might be saying, hey, what about us? There are different engine options, obviously, for your ready-to-run Nitro vehicle, so check out what's out there. Definitely something that comes from a reputable company, such as OS or Nova Rossi, is probably going to be better than that pull start engine that came with your vehicle. So those are our suggestions for option parts your ready-to-run most likely needs. Now, do you think you have a better suggestion than what we've just told you? Please, there are a lot of great ideas out there and we want you to share them. Hit up the comment section below and tell us what you think the best 10 option parts are for ready-to-run vehicles. Or if you have a specific list for a specific vehicle, we'd love to see that too. Please share it with everybody that visits RC Driver, and thanks for having fun in RC with us.